Conditional probability. A simple example to demonstrate conditional probability. So the probability that when somebody goes to work they take an umbrella with them is 0.1. But let's say if they see the forecast first and there's a high probability of heavy rain, then the probability that they take an umbrella with them, given that heavy rain is forecast, is 0.9. This time taking an umbrella is conditional on the heavy rain weather forecast, and this red line here, you read this as given that the probability of taking an umbrella given that heavy rain is forecast. So in general terms we have the probability that B occurs given that A has already occurred. For conditional probability we restrict the sample space and then do calculations. So we can solve conditional probability problems using a two-way table, a Venn diagram approach, using this formula which is in the formula book, the multiplication law of probabilities, or using the traditional tree diagrams. I will go through examples in this order. So starting with this two-way table, we have some students who take one of these three subjects, and we have the gender of the students. So the first thing we do is we work out these column totals, and we work out these row totals, and then we work out a table total. And I've given these letters to represent the event that somebody studies history, geography, English, and male and female. The table total is 29 plus 23, or we can do 10 plus 12 plus 30. It should give you the same total going this way or going this way. What we do is we select a student randomly from this group and then we calculate probability. So here I'm selecting a random student and I want to know what's the probability that student will be female and will be studying geography. So female and studying geography, and they meet on this 5 here. So there are 5 students out of a total of 52 who are female and studying geography. So we're using the table total here for our denominator value. Part B, now we're looking for someone who's female or someone who's studying geography, or both, female and studying geography. So in your table, these are all the female students, these ones are all the geography students. Every value that's highlighted has to be added together, but don't add up the 5 twice, even though it's in this row and it's also in this column. Count it just the once. So the 6, the 5, the 12 and the 7 here, divided by the table total, so 30 out of 52. Part C, so the probability that we select a student who's not studying history, H dash. So this is history, so we're not looking for anything in that column. The other columns are these. So there are 12 who are studying geography and 30 who are studying English. So we add them together, and out of 52, 42 out of 52. Part D, now we have conditional probability. So the probability that a student selected studies English given that they are male. So you always start with this side. So M here in the table is in a row, so I'm looking at everything here. So I've now restricted my table to everything that I've highlighted. So I cannot use any of these other values down here now. I have to use something in yellow. So now I move over to this side. So I need someone studying English. So English here is 18. So that's 18 out of, and again I can't use this value down here, I have to use values that are highlighted. So it's 18 out of the total on this side, the row total. 18 out of 29. So with conditional probability you make a restriction in your table first, and the restriction was everything that's highlighted in yellow based on this here. Part E. So again we have conditional probability. We start with this event. Event H here is in a column, so there's the restriction. So we have to use values in this column now. We can't use anything else in the table. So we've got event M here. So that's 4 out of 10, where the 10 is the column total. Part F, again we have conditional probability, so we start with this event, so we need to do a restriction based on event F. So here's the restriction done in the table, so we can only use values which are highlighted, and in there we have event H dash next. H is in a column. H dash means we cannot have anyone doing history, so we can have geography and we can have English, so we have to add these two, and it will be that value out of the row total, which is 23. So we have this 17 out of 23. For practice, try these questions.